Morning, Fractal Effects team. Before we get started, please make sure you read the disclosure in the description of the YouTube channel. If you're following along with us today, make sure you're doing a demo account, as this is for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. So we've been tracking the market from the morning session. We have a downside expansion model. We have a sell model. We had a break to the downside. We left a string of fair value gaps. That's the first presented fair value gap. It never tapped. It never tapped any of the fair value gaps. And that's for all the indices. So this is comparable to a runaway market. And now we're close to the DSD high and a 4-hour fair value gap. So I'd like to see, and we also have a break to the other side now. So I'd like to see it reject off this DSD high and then give us a 5M bearish fair value gap. I'm only interested, if we do get that set up, I'm only interested in taking it down to this fair value gap. We're right across the board. So it's one of those days, again, when you have a sell model and you get a break to the downside, we're looking for a buy into the blue zone. That's as high as we can go. So here's your first blue zone. That's the deepest, darkest blue zone. Remember, the darker the blue zone, the more magnetic it is. But we never got an entry. It never gave us, it gave us a foothold right here, but it never actually let us in. Instead, it actually used this blue zone, went past it, bounced off of it, and then pushed up from there. But that's not part of our rule set. Remember, part of our confluence is an actual fair value gap. Otherwise, anything other than that is a runaway market, and that's not something I want to catch. So let's see it play out. But that would be now my area of interest. I'd like to see the market retrace back into here. I'd like to see a 5M bearish fair value gap off this 4-hour, off the DSD high. US 500 in the middle, NAS on the left, US 30 on the right. They're all giving us the same exact model right now. We did bounce off the new week opening gap, that massive gap that was left open on Monday, from Friday to Monday. Huge gap. We've hit the consequence encroachment of that, the midpoint, and rejected it. Clean rejections right off the middle for all three indices. And well, these two are at the DSD high. US 30, on the other hand, is close to a purple zone, but it's gonna behave the same way. Just got to be patient now. See what kind of a setup we get. Now US 30 is also close to giving us a bullish confirmation. So if US 30 gives us a bullish confirmation, I cannot sell this market. Remember, there's an 80% chance that the market will retrace back to the 20 EMA here, most likely the blue zone, and then push back up from here. But this will be a telltale sign, at least for us. As far as the other two, Just stuck at that DSD high right now. I want to see what it does. So there's your bullish confirmation. That's set in stone. I cannot sell US 30. All I can do is wait for a possible retracement and then a setup to go long. Or it could just keep running away from us. Either way, this would be the area of interest. Until it comes back down to here, nothing is decided. And these two, as mentioned before, just stuck right there at the DSD high. There's a 4-hour fair value gap up here for NAS. US 500 is actually in a small 4-hour fair value gap here, this purple box, and also at the DSD high. There's another 4-hour fair value gap up here as well. Now let's see what it wants to do. In order to sell this market, I would need a 5M bearish fair value gap. In order to buy this, I'd like to see it come back and at least tap one of these fair value gaps down here. So just got to remain patient and wait this one out. We did bounce off that new week opening gap. Remember, when we leave these big gaps, these weekly gaps, or even daily gaps, it just has to tap the midpoint right here. And the market translator has that already positioned for you, just lets you know where that with that dotted line. And that's not a coincidence that we bounced off the midpoint. All three indices did. So we got a double break. So this is a good sign. We're getting a double break from both of these. Now I cannot sell these markets. I have to wait for that retracement and a setup to go long. Remember, the double break is the dealer revealing their hand. We're also close to a bullish confirmation. "17 seconds left. I'd like to see this bullish confirmation stick. Then we're just looking for a retracement back into our zone and a setup to go long. But I'd like to see one bearish fair value gap That's how I know my retracement is proper, and then I'd like to see it bounce off of a zone like here, 20 EMA, give me a bullish 5M a bullish 5M fair value gap. That's going to become my foothold to climb up. So still a while, still ways to go here. Patience is the game. Just going to paint out this fair value gap for now, since it's the biggest one. We did tap it here, but did not hit the midpoint. The 20 EMA is under it. And we also tapped it before the double break. So there's always a retracement after the double break. And this is where the crossover happens. We have not tapped the 20 EMA since the crossover happened. Right now, these markets are just driving up. Look at US 30. Has not hit a single fair value gap. Just gotta wait it out. Still nothing of interest here yet. Still just driving up. NAS getting close to the consequence encroachment of the DSD high here. Just wait and see what happens. Again, just right at the DSD high. Nothing for us yet. Getting a push down now from the DSD high. Let's see if we get a pull back into this zone, and we'll see what happens here. If it wants to respect this fair value gap and give us a 5M fair value gap up, or if it wants to push right past here all the way down here. Any way you cut it, I cannot sell these markets now. I can only look for a buy. So we're just going to wait, see what happens. Still just gesticulating. Looks like we're getting a power of 3. Consolidation. Then we'll get a manipulation. Distribution. What we want to do is we want to manipulate into this zone, if not deeper. There's your NYC opening gap. It could come tap this as well. Let's see. But I do want to see one bearish fair value gap created and then a bullish. Now we do have a blue zone right here, an underlining dark blue zone right here. This is the strongest magnetic point. So it could just push from here, but I want to see at least come to the consequence encroachment of this fair value gap and touch this 20 EMA first. Because anything above that is just a super, super shallow retracement, and it's comparable to a runaway market. I'm not interested. Looks like we're getting a push down now. Just got to wait and see. Okay, so we're coming into that fair value gap now, heading towards that 20 EMA. As mentioned before, I'd like to see a bearish fair value gap created first, then a bullish. Let's see how deep it retraces though. US 30, no signs of a retracement yet, just right into this 4-hour fair value gap, still pushing up higher into this purple zone, which is going to treat like a DSD high. I am not interested in shallow retracements. I want to see a bearish fair value gap, then a bullish fair value gap created. That's a shallow retracement here. I'd like to see it go in a little deeper. Go 4 minutes to 11. So remember, if you're joining us late, we cannot sell any of these markets. We have a double break to the upside on all of them, or on most of them here. Still no double break on US 30. Could give us one right here, actually. But we have bullish confirmations on the spotlight. So all I can do is look for a buy setup. Still a whole bunch of nothing. Again, US 500 just stuck there. Getting a push up here now. Okay, so we're getting a fair value gap here. That's the first presented fair value gap. This is the one I'd like to see tapped and respected. Just got to remain patient. I want to see it hit this fair value gap. I don't want to see it bounce off of these other ones. This is the first presented one. If it keeps running off without us, then so be it. Just been that kind of a day. So we did pull back into this fair value gap. Let's see if it touched it. No, just short of it. So right now it's just leaving a string of fair value gaps. I'll mark this one out as well. So we're now at the 4-hour fair value gap here. As mentioned before, this is more of a runaway right now. Never touch that 20 EMA. Three minutes left in this candle closure. So we created a new blue zone right here in real time. It could use this and just push from here, but again, keeps making it more and more shallow. First the shallow retracement. Now if it takes it from here, again, I'm not interested. There's no room for growth because my stop loss is still down here. And the consequence encroachment of the 4-hour fair value gap would be my target. So I'm hoping it comes down here. Let's see if it pushes from here. We also have to be cognizant of the fact that we have touched the 4-hour fair value gap. Let's touch the 4-hour. Here's the DSD high. Remember, it's only a buy model until it's not. It's only a sell model until it's not. So it might have hit its target. So that's why we're going to proceed with caution when it hits here. I want to see all the telltale signs. I want to see displacement met with displacement. I want to see a push through and an expansion up. Then we'll drop to a lower time frame and look for the same thing. About 20 minutes left in our window of opportunity. Remember, if we're not in a high probability trade setup 1 hour after the range formation, we're done for the day. So now we're back at this fair value gap. I want to see if it touched, because remember we included both of these fair value gaps. I'd like to see it cut in deeper, just to touch this one down here. Checking to see if we've created that fair value gap on this lower time frame. Nothing yet. Still waiting. As mentioned before, I'd like to see it dig in deeper. Especially given the fact that there's a 5M fair value gap down here. I'm going to paint this one out. There you go. Now let's see if it respects it. Just trying to see where the leg started. It's right down here. Still digging in deeper. And where all these rules, they preserve your capital. That's our primary goal. Capital preservation, and then second is making money. Gotta wait till all these points of confluence are met before we jump into anything. Pushing through it. Still waiting. pushing through again. So it's created no foothold for us yet, so we're just watching this. There's about 10 minutes left in our window of opportunity. Looks like we're going in even for the deeper retracement. As soon as we cross this line, I'm going to get rid of this 1 minute fair value gap. We're going to paint a new one. Just going to look at this on the 5 minute real quick. So I want to see it come in here and tap this. Meanwhile, on the 1 minute, I want to see if it left another fair value gap here. No, it did not. So far, this is the only lower time frame fair value gap that it's left. About 7 minutes left in our window of opportunity. Again, I'd like to see it tap here. Expansion met with expansion, and then I want to see it close above. But as mentioned before, this market's just gesticulating and pushing, but it's not really giving us any footholds. even on the 1 minute. Six minutes left. So we have a new fair value gap here. Let's see if it respects it. It keeps just making a string of them as it goes up, then again, I'm not interested. So it just disrespected this one completely, which is good. I actually wanted to see a touch here. Excuse me. Continuing to push down. Now the only thing I don't like about this is the range that it's created here. So we'd have to touch here. Again, expansion met with expansion. And then the closure over the series of candles that drove into this fair value gap, that's still up here. That'd be your entry. This is your stop loss. So I don't know if there's a 1 to 3 here. $2.02. If this is your entry. About 2 minutes left in our window of opportunity. I'm not sure if we're going to get there. So I'll leave that as your homework. This late in the game, I wouldn't take this entry, but you can come back and check it out. It's only a 2.02. Remember, unless it's a 1 to 3 risk to reward, it's really not worth it. But this is always a good practice. So again, I'll leave you with that. See if you get expansion met with expansion, or if we just rip right through and take out this low, in which case it's going to be a deeper retracement anyways. So again, capital preservation. But yeah, expansion met with expansion, a closure over the series of candles, which is right up here. And then as soon as you have that closure, that would have been the entry. Please check us out on fractaleffects.com, where we teach high probability trading. Please hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know when we're live. Currently we're live Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 10:30 Eastern Standard. Check us out on all the social medias, fractal.effects with an E. And that's our time. We'll see you guys tomorrow.